Hey, what's up guys? Nolan Ramser here, Team Discraft, and this is what I'm throwing for the 2021 season. All right, let's get things started off with the distance drivers. First off, most overstable, Z Nuke OS. This thing is really overstable, super flat, mostly just really extreme flex forehands or anytime there's any major wind. Next up, I have two nukes. I throw nukes mostly for forehands or if I have enough room to full flex it. Least stable nuke, this blue one I can get to flex a little bit on a flat line and go probably close to 400 feet consistently. My stable nuke with my stamp, if I force it over, I can get it to go about 380 on a forehand, and if I throw it backhand, this is probably the furthest flying disc in my bag. All right, next up I got three forces. Least stable is this Z force. I've been really digging this for forehands, mostly because of it's flat and it's good because I can get it to go under ceilings when I can't get the fairway driver quite there. If I throw this backhands, I'm gonna need to throw it hyzer flips or most of the time big annies. Next up, this buzz stamped one. This one is probably the most workable. If I throw it flat and hard, we'll get some turn and then fade. Most stable, I throw this one probably most of the time. Pop Top ESP Force. This is the one I threw all over Kansas City. This is the one I throw most of the time if I get the chance. I throw it really hard, really flat, and it fades out before ever turning. Let's move on to the fairways. The fastest fairway driver I have is a machete. I throw these on forehands all the time, especially this tie-dye one. Really loving the way I can throw this on that baby Annie and have it go straight and then fade. Anything inside 300, I throw this quite a bit. This ESP machete has been in and out of the bag for the past couple years. It's like really beat up, and if I throw this flat and hard on a forehand, it'll turn and then come back, or on the occasional backhand throw, if I throw this flat, it'll hold most of the time before fading out. Next up, I have three Predators, starting with the least stable. This one is pretty flippy for a Predator, so if I throw this flat and hard, it turns the entire way. I'm really liking the way this flies. It's really glidey and really workable. Next up, I just put this one in the bag, broke this out. I can throw this flat and hard, get a little bit of early turn, but consistent late fade. I really like throwing this thing so far. It's definitely gonna stay in the bag. And then this one, really overstable. I mean, extremely torque resistant. I cannot get this to turn unless I force it over. So no matter how hard I throw this, it's just gonna go flat and then fade out. Avenger SS only goes in the bag if I feel like throwing a roller at said course. I don't throw any air shots with this at all. It just goes in the bag whenever I feel like throwing a roller. All right, something I've been messing with, this Z Glow Sparkle Talon. I've been ripping this thing flat on backhands and getting some consistent like 375 hyzers out of it. I don't know if it'll actually stay. It's pretty overstable and very torque resistant, so it's fun. Next up is the Z Extreme. If you don't know what this is, it's incredibly overstable and not very fast. This one right here is pretty beat up. I can throw this probably 350, 370, like comfortably, flat and hard, and get it to go really straight without fading till the very end. And then this one, way flatter than the other one, almost puddle top. I throw this on really like choppy forehands and backhands and some crazy flex shots, because it's really overstable and I know it's always gonna come back. Moving along to the mid-ranges. I have three mid-ranges. Most understable, Z Hawk. I'm definitely gonna bag this. I really like the way it flies. I've been throwing this a lot for fan grips and hyzer flip up to turns or just flat turns with some height. And I mean, you can still throw it hard on hyzer and trust that it's gonna flip up. Z Buzz, super torque resistant. Throw it on hyzer, it stays on hyzer. Throw it on Annie, it stays on Annie. I personally just like to throw this flat and hard and trust that it's gonna go really straight. And Z Wasp, I throw this pretty much as hard as I can. It's not gonna flip over or anything. Low profile, I like the way it feels. It's pretty torque resistant. I throw this flat and hard and get some fade out of it. Never really flips. And finally, the putters. I have two zones. One is Z and one is Pro D. This one is pretty fresh. I like throwing this for every upshot I can, backhand and or forehand. I like the grip, I like the stiffness, but consistent flight for sure. This is Z-Zone, brand new. Overstable. This is just basically if it gets windy or if I need something to skip a little bit more. Next up, putter line challenger. I do not putt with this one. I only throw this one for straight backhand approaches or straight tee shots if I need to. Roncon's old soft challenger, super beat up, incredibly understable. I throw this for long putts or super short turnovers. This is not leaving the bag as long as I have it. So, putting putters. I putt with crazy tough challengers. Currently I have some of Andrew Fish's putters in the bag.
Hey y'all.
They feel really good, always consistent, good stability, cuts to the wind. That's what I'm throwing for the 2021 season. Thanks for watching. If you're not throwing any Discraft, you definitely should be, and I'll see you on the course.